Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the 2.5 podcast, where we watch 2.5 episodes of 2.5 Men. I'm your host, Sweaty Reed.
And I'm your co-host, Edgy.
So the last time we left off, we were playing golf with friends, which, by the way, you don't need to watch that episode if you're listening, because most of it was all just us playing golf with friends and talking about the episode. I don't really remember what happened in it, but...
it probably wasn't very good.
No, it probably was not good. I don't mind that. That's fine. But you don't need to watch it. You can just skip from here because we basically talk about what we're going to be talking about this episode. I don't even remember the other two episodes besides the last one.
They were really nothing to write home about.
And this 2-part episode is also not anything to write home about. You want to describe the last episode, and because it's connected.
Yeah, so basically they get the daughter. The crazy lady explains why they have the daughter. Why they quote unquote kidnapped this girl from her in-laws house because I guess her husband died or something.
Mm-hmm.
And she was married to this rich guy, and a bunch of drama between the in-laws and the lady happened, and they tried to have her deemed unfit for taking care of her kid. Mm-hmm. And basically had the psychologist call her crazy or whatever, and then she smashed up the car. Real clever thinking there, by the way.
Great
to prove
job.
That your fit parent is to absolutely destroy a random car. But they basically kidnap her daughter. She tries to justify why she should have full custody. And then she kisses Alan, mm-hmm. and they go on a little date and they kiss. And then she's like, by the way, I'm gonna move. She's like, peace out. And obviously Alan's like, oh, we should get married. We should be together and live together and be together forever. Mm-hmm. And she's like, haha, you thought, peace. And then she leaves.
Yeah, the whole entire episode is like all the times where Alan hasn't been given a break for the last episodes. You could argue that technically this episode is like him at his best, like him getting like the most, because this is like the first time that Charlie's been what they call the third nipple in the episode, where he's the guy who's not getting the hot woman this episode, despite all the other episodes having him get the hot woman. And he hates that. And Alan's like, oh, you're jealous of me. But Charlie's like, sees the issue with Alan getting into this situation is that he's really going to build it up to be something. Like, he's going to be like, oh, I'm going to fix this woman's life. I'm going to help her and her daughter get through this emotional shit. And I'm going to be like a great, I'm going to be that husband that she wants. And she's like, no, I'm moving to my siblings' place because they're gonna take care of us, and you're just not ready for all of this, which is probably true because he's already going through his own divorce.
Right. He's barely holding it together to begin with. How is he gonna fix somebody when he
lives with his playboy brother?
His life isn't that great either, and it was his own actions that got him to that place to mm-hmm. begin with. The fact that he's really clingy. I don't think him and that girl would just work out long term because it seems like she's too free-spirited.
Yeah,
and he's
obviously
too stubborn, and he doesn't think he needs to change anything about himself. So, I think it's pretty obvious that the writing was on the wall anyways. And obviously,
yeah,
it's a sitcom and they don't want to have a real storyline or Alan be happy long term.
Right. And that's why I feel like this 2-parter episode falls flat, because we don't really, the crowd pleaser is that Alan gets a girl, and that's right. The only thing that's really interesting about it. But it's not even that interesting because I don't really care about this woman.
I don't care about this woman. I don't care. Alan, I want Alan, I guess, to,
get
have
better.
to somehow
Yeah.
get better. But I feel like his character needs to change and get better for me to actually care that he gets good stuff.
Out of
Like, I feel bad if it's Alan torture porn, but like at the same time, I don't really care that he gets good shit either.
Yeah, I don't think that he deserves an attractive woman in his life. Like, sure, she's crazy and such like that, but like, I don't know. This whole entire episode is just like Charlie and Alan. Well, this two-parter is just Charlie and Alan pick up a crazy woman. That crazy woman has sex with Alan, and that's it. That's really like,
and you don't need 2 episodes for that.
you don't. That's the weird thing is that they were able to milk it for 2 episodes.
That this boring storyline with a boring ending, with
Mhm.
no long-term effects, gets 2 episodes. Come
Yeah.
on.
I mean, I get it. It's season 1. Like, they're not trying to change a lot of the status quo. However, the status quo will be the same almost until Charlie's out of the show. So it's not like, yeah, it's like, just give me something. Throw us a bone. Like, make some kind of like character change for Alan, because no one changes. It's kind of just like Alan sees a woman. He's like, oh, this could be a part of my life. And then it's like, well, maybe.
It's like he never learns. He's, isn't that the definition of insanity? Is just doing the same shit over and over again.
I doubt
a different result.
I doubt that this woman as well is gonna come back.
No, there's no way.
Like, I'd be shocked. And she's definitely not going to be like with Alan at the end of the show or even in the middle.
Nope. There's 2 episodes wasted on a nothing burger.
Crazy woman. She just broke a car, and that was like a ratings trap right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my opinion.
So thumbs down on first episode, but we had already been thumbs downing it since the last one.
I guess if there was one nice thing to say, it's not really nice, but I do like Jake's subplot of him being annoyed by the girl, because that's just like kid things. That's like, that's fine little kid things that I get that. When I was a kid, like, girls younger than me always had a crush on me, and I hated it. I could not stand it. I hate younger girls.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I think it was funny. I think it's very cute the way that they portrayed them, and she liked whatever he liked and all that kind of stuff. I thought it was cute.
Yeah, that's it though. Everything else I didn't really care for. So now we can go to the next episode, which is a lot. I think that this one wasn't that bad, because it had Jake in it, and all the episodes that focus around Jake I actually like.
I did actually like this episode. I thought it was cute. I thought it was very sweet. I thought it had really good funny parts, because Jake is just funny. And I think it was one of those episodes where it's like Charlie and Jake have like bonding moments, or like it shows that Charlie does actually have a kinder, partially kind of a little bit a parental side to him. And I like those kinds of episodes. It's like a feel-good episode, but it's also funny. It's the funniest episodes because Jake and Charlie, the way they interact with each other is actually funny. They can, roast each other a little bit. They have like little jokes. Jake is really quick with like little quips about stuff about Charlie, and but he also can do that kind of airheadedness. Like,
right. No, he's great. He can be like, kids are like that, so it fits well with the actor being able to switch from like being a snarky little asshole to being like an oblivious cloud head.
Right, because it sounds like stuff he would actually say. Like, I don't know anything about this actor, but when he was a kid, like, it seems like maybe he did have some say in like, oh, I would say this like this if I was given this line, but maybe like the joke was a little bit, I don't know. I think it's really good. It's impressive, I guess. So
the whole entire episode is basically about Charlie being mad at Alan for something that doesn't really matter. It's Judith is like giving Alan some divorce shit, and Alan's like mad at her because she's like, oh, you need to pay more on your life insurance, so if you die, you get like we get more coverage for the legal fees and such. And Alan's like, well, I'll have you know that if you die, then I die, then Charlie will take care of Jake.
And she loses it.
She gets really pissed off about it, right? Like, not rightfully so, because like if I was Judith, I would not want Charlie to take care of my kid.
Yeah, I think you know what? Actually, she's in the right. I mean, she is in the right, but like, I don't understand why she's. I mean, Alan's a chiropractor. Why is she expecting him to pay all the lawyer fees and stuff?
Yeah,
she probably makes way more money, and then she's like. It just seems like a plot point just to make her seem like
just to make her seem like an asshole. Like, oh, you need to pay all these things. That would always make someone look out to be the bad guy.
Like, and increasing his life insurance. Like, why is she even getting his life insurance?
Yeah, why are you even like suggest? I feel like that's like such a cruel thing. It's just like, oh, when you die, you like. We'll get more money, so that's why.
Like, okay, there's no respect for the sanctity of life anymore, huh?
Mm-hmm. Crazy. Which is why Alan is like justified in saying that, I felt. And it's such like, it's contingencies. Like, these things don't really matter because they're like only in emergency situations. But everyone in the episode but Alan fixates on them.
And he's like totally like out of it, or like, I don't know, he like totally removes himself. He's like, because Charlie gets really excited when he hears he's gonna get custody of Jake if something happens to both of them, because he's like, oh, you really trust me now, thank you, you know, that's great. And then Alan's like, no, I lied just to piss her off. He's gonna go to Rhode Island with some agriculture professors.
Yeah, like some other people that would know how to take care of a kid, probably.
They would probably do a good job.
Oh, they would definitely do a better job than Charlie. But I do think that it's like, I do think that it's offensive. It's like, why do you even bring it up, Alan? Like, you could have.
Why about it?
Like, well, yeah, why even lie about it? But why even like. Yeah, if you're gonna... I get lying about it because Judith brought divorce shit and I would want to piss off my ex-wife too.
I think maybe the shitty part is the fact that he did it in front of Charlie.
Yeah. Or even like... Or... Well, did it in front of Charlie and then told him the truth afterwards. You could have just kept lying. Because it's not even as if you're gonna die. You know, if you do die, then he'll find out and he'll be pissed. But he's gonna like look at it and be like, well... I would suck as a parent.
Yeah, I don't think he would want full custody either. I mean,
he's only mad about it. He's only mad about it because Alan suggested that it would be a possibility.
Right, and then it was just stripped away as fast as it was suggested.
But that's the whole entire episode is Charlie learning about being like a responsible adult to a kid because he's hanging out with Jake. And Jake accidentally hits his head on the concrete while they were playing basketball. And
he basically gets a big wound on his head, and Charlie immediately looks at the amount of blood, and he's like, okay, hospital time.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And so they go to the hospital, and it's just hospital antics, where Charlie's trying his best to get Jake inside the doctor's office as quickly as possible, and Jake being a kid...
Oh yeah, because when they were driving there, oh my gosh, I thought this bit was actually really funny. So when they were driving there, Charlie was like, oh, I need to call your dad and tell your dad what's going on. So he picks up the car phone, because it's the early 2000s. So he picks up the car phone. He picks up the car phone, he dials, and he calls Alan's cell phone, and Jake's pocket starts ringing, because he has the cell phone. And Charlie's like, why do you have the cell phone? And he says, I don't know. And that bit happens like 3 more times in the episode. I thought that was really funny. Actually, I thought it was really cute.
Yeah, no, it was always it was so funny because it was so important to the plot. Like for example, you know, with Alan, they couldn't get a hold of Alan. Why? Because Jake stole the phone. Judith tries to call Alan, and Charlie answers. Why? Because Jake took the phone. And then at the end of the episode. Jake is driving home with Judith, and he reveals to Judith that he got his head hit and they had to get stitches at the hospital. So that's like you can see the stitches on the back of his head. And Judith is like so mad. She's about to call Alan, and Jake has the phone still, even though they've already solved that. Like Alan taking the phone back. It's as if Jake is like attached to taking Alan's phone, and I think that's like just a funny plot bit.
I love it. It's so real.
It's so real
take
too.
My mom's phone.
Yeah.
She had Pac-Man on her phone. This was also this was in the late 2000s.
Yeah.
But relatable content.
My parents never let me have their phone. My dad had like golf on his phone, and it was a bad thing of golf.
My mom's like first touchscreen phone. She had Angry Birds. But she beat all the levels.
They were like big Nokia phones. They were like, they wouldn't even fit in your pocket, man.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they didn't get actual phones until like the iPhone 5, and they bought us all iPhone 5s.
Really? That's crazy. Jeez, how old was I when I think I was like 12 or 13 when my mom got her first touchscreen phone, and then my brother got, I think his first phone was a touchscreen, but I wanted the slide out keyboard phone, so that was my first phone.
That was my sister's. I had touchscreen. I was in the touchscreen age when I got my first phone, but it was like a shitty Virgin Mobile touchscreen.
Oh, yeah.
And then I got my iPhone.
My first touchscreen, well, my slide-out keyboard phone was technically a touchscreen, but it wasn't very good at being a touchscreen because it was for geriatric people. And then my second phone was like the Samsung Galaxy Y, and it was the biggest piece of dog shit I think I've ever owned in my life.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the episode. I thought out of the collection of these 2.5 episodes, this is definitely the best. And it's probably the best even in the last episode too, like if we were going to compare the 6.
Yeah, out of the 6, I mean, even the other ones from the time before that, the other 2.5. Definitely best episode we've gotten in a while, because Jake was a part of it, because Jake was a central theme, and it had all the good stuff that we really like about 2.5
We
Men.
only, like, I feel like it only works. Charlie only works, like, in the context of his brother and his nephew. Everything else
that's
is
his
just
only redeeming quality. Everything else about him is kind of shitty, kind of scummy. He's an alcoholic. All he likes to do is, hit on women. It's like he doesn't have anything redeeming. So like the one time he is actually a decent human being is when he's with his family and acting like a relatively family man, and he gets excited about teaching Jake things even if they're scummy. But yeah, that's the only way it works. It's the only way this show works, and I feel like they have been slacking on that. They've been trying to focus on the brotherly aspect when they should be focusing on the trio.
I agree. So I'm happy that this happened. I'm happy that this episode went by. But the next one is so interesting. I'm so curious on how it's gonna go.
I know, because for the half episode, 2.5 Men said #trans rights.
Is that what they said? I mean, like, I guess we could...
You know what? It was really questionable, but, like, some of the choices that they made, I think, were actually not bad, because they cast a clearly cisgender man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's a cisgender man. But I feel... because it's a trans man. It's when Charlie's ex-girlfriends transition from female to male.
Yeah.
And they have this man come on, and I feel like it was a good casting choice, kind of. I mean, obviously he has to really
has to
stuff.
Right. So yeah, that's the whole entire episode. Is Charlie thinks that he's gonna meet with his fling of 5 years ago that left him, at a bar, and he's like super excited because this is like a really good friend to him. And when he finally gets there, some guy sits right next to him and talks to him for a little bit, and we don't, it takes a while for Charlie to realize that this guy is actually his old fling. And
he's talking to this fling, and he's like, "Oh yeah, the sex was great, and you know what? We were really, really good friends." and Bill, he gets really excited hearing that they were good friends. He's like, "Really?"
Yeah, it's like really sweet, like Charlie being like this. But Charlie always says things. That's the thing that, like, you don't even know if he's being legitimate or not about these, like, how he's expressing it even to a random guy. But I guess it is pretty meaningful because I feel like if it was with any other guy, Charlie probably would have tried to run. Like if it was like a girl that he hooked up with like once and then he came back as a guy, he'd probably leave. But it seems like Charlie cares enough about this person to like sit down and listen.
And have a really good relation. I guess they had a decent relationship.
At that, yeah, if he's like willing, well, he willingly takes this guy back to his place to meet his family, which he never did when he was a woman. And man, that's like the weirdest part of it all. I do like some of the jokes that they made. They're all like really bad puns, but like for example, Alan meets this guy, and Alan doesn't know at all that he's trans, and so he just follows along like, oh, this is one of Charlie's friends, I guess. He seems pretty cool. And then I mean, this isn't funny. I think my least favorite part of the episode is Berta coming in, looking at him like kind of disgusted, and then walking away as if she knows.
I feel like she's like trying to. I feel like that, like, without using words, I feel like what it was trying to say was that she recognized Bill, but she couldn't place how she knew Bill. I don't think it was like
fair. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I was worried that like the joke was that she obviously could tell.
I know. Okay, I understand that now, but that was my interpretation, is that she was just.
Well, I get that because she's probably seen her.
She's probably met Jill. Or
yeah.
Jill
when she was Jill.
Bill. Yeah, Bill when she was Jill.
Yeah, Bill when he was Jill.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. So I feel like Berta, like.
Yeah, that's not as bad. I was like, what the fuck? Like, are you really gonna make this joke where like Berta's like looking at this trans man and being like, that's definitely a woman, but I'm not gonna say anything. That's what I was thinking. Because it's
Berta
too.
Was just like, you know what?
Yeah, yeah.
That's definitely her attitude.
Yeah, right. And so Evelyn comes in afterwards because Bill mentions that he's trying to move into LA and try to like get a new life here. And Evelyn is like absolutely attracted to Bill. And the half episode ends with them kissing and like going on a date, which is just awkward for Charlie. And Alan's like, oh, well, you know.
Well, Alan was like,
he's a good guy.
He's so much younger.
Yeah.
He's so much younger.
Isn't that weird that he's like, that our mom is dating a younger guy? And Charlie's like, yeah, that's the weird thing.
Like, I don't know. I guess Charlie's kind of a Chad for not outing Bill immediately.
I agree. I do, like, I was going to mention my favorite pun of this was Alan asking if Charlie and Bill were poker buddies, and Charlie said, in a way. I used to. That was...
Don't call me buddy.
That's Big Six right there. It's so funny.
It's really good.
Other than that, I don't know. I'm worried about this episode though, because they could really destroy it so quickly.
Yeah, like the beginning, I don't know, was
I
bad.
didn't
It's-
like the bar
Charlie
discussions, but
yeah,
especially when
I
he's
don't
like,
think
"Give me a."
there's
Yeah, you're right. There isn't a good way to do it to start off with this discussion in 2004.
because I don't think Charlie was disgusted by the fact that he was a trans man. I think it was because he was wondering if he was doing gay stuff. Which
Yeah, it was honestly like him being like, was I actually having sex with a man the whole time?
right.
Which like shouldn't be what you're thinking, but it's Charlie Sheen.
Right. And he's not, I don't know. It's also 2004. People were not sensitive to that kind of shit at all. And I think, honestly, Two and a Half Men probably did it way better.
This half episode is like, I was shocked that like, I was worried the moment that like it came out that Bill was Jill. Absolutely. I was worried that this whole entire episode was just going to fall on its face. But they're pretty good about it. I think we'll see. What will happen? Maybe I think that Bill will be outed by the end of the episode.
I think way before. I think as soon as stuff goes on with the mother, I'm worried to see what Evelyn's reaction.
Yeah,
is
I
gonna
agree
be.
because she's a boomer and she's gonna hate it the most.
Well, but also I don't think being trans was as controversial as it is today.
Fair,
'cause
true, yeah, but she was the one.
anti-trans stuff has
She's
been
the one
happening.
that's been kissing what she'll probably think is a woman by the time that he's ousted.
Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting. That's the only reaction I'm worried about. But maybe like, I don't know. It could be setting up to school her, or it could be.
Yeah, I
something
would
else.
really like the episode to go where Charlie Sheen has a monologue about how trans people are people too, and they should be they should be seen the way that they wish to be seen, and not
Man, chicks with dicks.
not for the way
You
that
know what, we
society
love 'em.
wishes to pressure them to be.
He would definitely say something. I feel like it's not gonna be. I don't know.
I think
don't
that
know.
I definitely there's like a 75% chance they drop the ball on this, and then a 25% chance where they don't do anything with it.
But I think no matter what, I think this will be considered progressive for 2004.
Oh, definitely. This is
One of those. It was progressive for the time, kind of, because I don't think it so far hasn't been heinous, and that is
exactly.
above the bar. The bar is actually in hell.
Uh-huh.
My expectations are so low that the fact that that Charlie even called him Bill and referred to him as a man in some sort of way, already above the bar.
Uh-huh. Honestly.
Respected his pronouns, respected his new name. I think only Dead named him.
Only
once
Deb
or
named him
twice.
once, but it was like at the beginning. It wasn't
It was before he realized
uh-huh.
or even knew his new name, so it's crazy, like. So, kind of doing better. It's not like the new norm.
Yeah.
The new norm, that stuff would not fly.
No one would understand the new norm in 2004. That's the difference, is that we understand
That's true.
we understand 2.5 Men today, but we would have never understood the new norm back then.
Dude, it's just Twitter brain rot. I don't even know if there's like normal people who haven't had a Twitter account probably out there that wouldn't even understand it either.
Yeah, you're right. No, they would understand it because everyone's parents watch Fox News.
My parents don't watch Fox News.
Okay. Lucky.
Why do you think I'm like this?
Yeah, I should have thought so. All right.
Blue-haired liberal.
Yeah, fucking lib. All right, I guess that's the end of this episode.
All right.
What is this? 2.5 libs?
2.5 hashtag trans rights.
Trans rights. Yeah, that's. So would you be Charlie in this episode, or would I'd be Alan because I wouldn't know. I
don't even think you would care. I think like both of us removed from the situation. I mean, Charlie kind of cares, but like also just gave up immediately.
Well, yeah, because it's not like you can't detransition that. Like, okay, it is a cis actor, but like that passing is like spectacular.
Yeah, I know. And I feel like the only reason why I'm like, I think that was a good choice in 2004 is because they're treating him as if he is. They're like, oh yeah, he is a man.
Yeah,
and I don't think a lot of people. I feel like they would have put like a girl.
I was always I was always thinking of the episode of Sunny in Philadelphia where, it's the first season. There's a trans episode where Max starts dating this girl that turns out to be a trans woman, and
I mean, they have a beautiful girl.
Yeah. It was a good episode, but it was kind of weird because the whole entire joke was that like Mac is secretly gay.
Yeah, well, I think the gay stuff started way later, but I think that was one of the first.
Well, that was the beginning. That was like the beginning of it all, and they always like mention it that like Mac is jealous of this, or likes to have sex with this woman because she has a dick still.
Right.
But this episode is a lot tamer. The good news about it is that they can't do anything worse. It's not like this character's gonna come back, because he's definitely not gonna come back.
Yeah, he's definitely like a one-off. He's not a Rose.
Where is Rose? We haven't seen Rose.
I don't know. I think it was last.
It was the last episode. The Golf with Friends where we talked about Rose.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see her in maybe in the second part of this episode. That would be kind of fun.
That would be funny. I would like that.
I
like Rose. I like it when she makes an appearance. Jake is S tier.
Jake is S tier. Rose is like. I like Evelyn as well. I'd say B. Both of them are B. Alan's like.
Because I feel like the jokes they make with Evelyn are so funny.
Alan and Charlie are like C. I mean, like they're good. They're the main characters, so you kind of have to have them there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, that's everything.
Right. Yeah, that's all. All right. Well, thank you for watching this episode.
Like and subscribe.